everybody, and welcome back to our podcast today. And today I have the lovely Sandra from Lia Cabela down in Tullamore, who trained with us many years ago and is running an amazingly successful business. Sandra, you are most welcome.
Thank you, Deirdre. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And
No problem.
I'm very happy to chat and give my all experience, life experience, and to be honest, as I
Oh,
always
yes,
are.
this is all about honesty, all about being out there. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Sandra. So, have you always worked in flowers, or what brought you into the flowery
No,
journey?
so
Tell us.
my journey started from my own wedding. Now I always liked to be creative and do things and make things. But yeah, when I started doing my own wedding, I fell in love. And I just started, actually, my business started from doing candy cards and doing a little bit carpets, a little bit decorating kids' parties. Obviously, I fell in love. I started getting more business and all this, and with a lot of weddings start coming in, it's like obviously the biggest part in the weddings it would be flowers. So I kind of having two little babies, I decided that yeah, I need to get more knowledge. And then I remember when I came to Eagles and I
I
got the
remember when you
fuse.
came. How long ago is it now?
Oh Jesus, would be 7, 8 years?
Wow, that's mad, isn't it? Yeah, gosh.
Yeah.
And look where you've come in 7 or 8 years. And so tell us about your business, because I know you have worked in different aspects of floristry. You have worked in retail, you've worked in events, you've worked in weddings, you
Yeah,
had your own
so
shop. So tell us a little bit about your journey over those 7 years.
yeah. So at the start I was doing kind of just events, just decorating parties and all this. Then I went kind of in more into the weddings. So we do decorate weddings as well, like churches, venues, my business doing a lot of retail window displays as well. We do the Christmas decor. It's really going well, and I'm fully booked already this year, and
Wow.
already I have good few bookings for next year as well. So Christmas is growing really fast, you know, because I do decorate the hotels, shopping centers, retails, private houses as well. So that's, yeah, so Christmas are big. And then from the I bought a flower shop actually 1.5 year ago, but I sold it this year. So because yeah, I
It's completely different, isn't it?
yeah.
Running a retail shop and running an event, a freelancey event sort of thing where you're out of the shop. It's very hard to do both. Is that what you found? That you like?
Yeah,
I believe to be in a retail shop, you need to be there yourself,
that's
and
true.
obviously
That's
you can't be.
absolutely 1000 true. I just found being event planning and decorator and traveling around, like I do a lot of floral installations for the salons. That's my big, huge thing as well. So, um, and then having a flower shop, I found that you really, to run successful flower shop, you have to be there. It's very hard. Like if you have a staff that you can rely 1000% on it, and you know that they honest and they do work and all, and they helping you to get bigger in the floristry. It's well done, and then you're very lucky. But sometimes, not always time that you have that staff, and they do work when they're there, but then when you going away, it's kind of you feeling when coming back, it should be more things done. And and it's hard sometimes just to ask. It's a lot of things that HR, it's a lot of work. It's
Yeah,
not just working with the flowers, but behind running, managing, and then obviously we include all the the sick days, then the
bank
holidays, then the
holidays.
holidays payments, and but all money it has to come and all this. So unless so I felt my own that it was too much managing two business, and three kids, single mom as well. So I found it was a lot of pressure. Like I forgetting sometimes that I have a kid, So because it's like it's constantly it looked like
It
you
is.
work,
And
work,
I think
work.
retail, and that's where retail can be difficult in the sense you have to be
Yeah,
there 24/7, or not 20, well,
yeah,
12 hours a day probably. And then probably one day over the weekend for when your flowers are coming in or whatever the case may be, where at least with your events, you can
yeah,
pick and choose when you want to work to an extent. And if
yeah.
the kids are off that weekend, school or off that week, you can decide, I'm not going to work that week. I'm not taking on any jobs. Whereas with a retail shop, you have to be there.
Yeah. As I say, like every morning, 9 o'clock, that the shop doors has to be opened,
Yeah.
and they have to close and all this. So I think so that's why working over the year, I kind of realize, probably I'm getting older as well. And you start feeling that it's money, it's not everything in the world, that it has to be a little bit more happiness, just not just work, 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 work. So I made decision kind of it was way, way too much on my shoulders. So let it go the shop.
Yeah.
And I sold to the girls who actually to the florist who was working for me, so with them all the best, but yeah, but you can see it's completely different as well. Um when you see when somebody just only works for you and when they work for themselves, then you can see the difference how they work, so
Absolutely. And there is no comparison. I think, it's very hard to get somebody as passionate about you, passionate about your business as
yeah,
you are, because you are the one at the end line. Either you're going to get paid or you're not going to get paid. Your staff will get
yeah,
paid before you will. And I don't think a lot of staff realize that, the pressures that is behind the scenes when you are employing staff or when you are working yourself, even if you're not employing staff.
yeah,
I know years
exactly,
ago when we used to have the flower shop ourselves here in Rialto, we'd be like, we have to stay open for another hour because we had a target we had to reach every day. Our accountant had said to us, you need to take in this every day for it to break even. And if there was days that we didn't take that in, we were like, we'll stay open another hour. We'll stay open another 2 hours to see, can we hit that target? Because we knew we had to make it. But if none of our staff stayed those extra hours, they were going to get paid anyway. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
you
true.
already had a hugely successful business even before the retail shop. So let's park the retail and tell me more about the shops. I know here in Dublin, you have done so many shops, Pello in Newbridge and Pello in Dublin. I know you have done those shops and done the installations on the outside. That really came to light, I think, during COVID, that flower shops, or not shops, but retail stores started
The
to use
business
flowers.
actually, you know what? It's so funny, but I can say that the most successful of my business is actually to thank to the COVID time, you know, and what happened because a lot of retails like restaurants was closed down, and did you remember they only was able to have something for outside, so a lot of restaurants and bars and pubs, they open up the garden areas, and obviously they was need a little bit to jazz it up with the florals. And that's where really I start boosting because I do installations like, of the trees, of the bushes, of the greenery, and that's really took off. And then it came that big trend, the florals for the salons, for the hair salons. All the hair salons was dying just to get outside the florals. Yeah, so, and that's how I started really growing, just getting bigger projects, and nicer. And as I say, yeah, I did few Dublin. I did around the nationwide,
Yeah.
So my probably the biggest job, it was probably in Loughrea, and it's calling Roots. It's coffee and kind of Italian bistro, and I built it. I think it's around seven with, like, it's basic. It's all the seating under the big tree.
Wow.
So that's, I'd say, the biggest tree, that I built it, but it's massive, like it's 7 meters wide, and I think it's
Wow.
by 8 meters wide. So if you ever dare, call in to see, because
Oh,
it is
definitely.
magnificent. And then when we install it, I install it, it's 12,000 lights. at the Christmas. It's yeah, it looks magic, you know. But that's how it started growing. So and then I started doing obviously Christmas decorations, and absolutely fell in love. Now it's a lot of work. It's a lot of long nights, working, doing them. But yeah, I love it. I love to do
Love it.
creativity and to make it pretty, like, like Santa's
Yeah.
house. So
And
yeah, I
that's
did.
such a smaller part of your business because weddings is the other big part of your business. But you
Yes.
just don't do the Mickey Mouse weddings. You do the big things. You do the big installations for weddings. I
Yeah.
love watching your social media, and we'll have our social media in the description here for anybody that wants to go over and follow Sandra Leakabella. And look at some of the stuff that she has done. But you have went abroad. I know you trained initially here with us, but you've also went abroad and you have worked with some of the big florists, haven't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah. So when I was doing, all my events, I felt in love. I by accident I ended up doing event styling courses, and now this lady is from Lithuania, um, uh, and her all weddings it's only luxury weddings. She don't do nothing else, just luxury. And I absolutely fell in love with the flowers, with the how full, how beautiful, and how pretty it is. So when I came back, I was on this big cloud and I said, right, I want to do more. So I went to do another course in Ibiza. And there where I met the world luxury, business people who does royal weddings. And that completely, blow me away.
Yeah.
It's like you feel that you're completely on the different planet when the scale they doing of the florals and installations and how big they are. And they can turn down in 30 days places that you never could imagine it's possible even to do it. So like my one of the coaches was Nadia Duran. She's in the Sydney number one as well, florist. Mohammed Layad, he's from Dubai, from Le Marriage. Robert Chard, he's from Lebanese.
Wow.
I would like Gintare, she's in Ibiza. So yeah, so I met a lot of people who does really luxury weddings. Now I do realize that living in Ireland, probably maybe we're never gonna be able to do that because it's the money, it's not there, because but if I
Yes.
can
Yes.
yet
Yes.
but if I can take the elements what from there, even small elements, and to bring it in the Irish wedding industry, I think we're gonna do really well,
Yeah.
and I think that's what it's about. It's not about, it's how we can creative, like I always saying, I'm always trying from the budget to get maximum out, and the most kind of luxury look, and with the flowers as well, like we can talk, you can get three nice roses, but maybe you can get one hydrangea, and so kind of you playing with the flowers to get in the budget cost, but to do that it look wow.
Yes. And that's really, and I think that's where when people talk about a skilled florist or a trained florist, that's what makes the difference, is that you can talk to your bride, your groom, or your couple and say, yes, you could do roses, but if we use hydrangeas, we're going to get a little bit more luxury, or we're going, for you to be able to advise to give that dream. Because everybody wants the Pinterest wedding, everybody wants that big scale wedding, but very few people can afford that big
Yeah.
scale wedding. But working with a florist like you who can adapt and give the illusion of it is really, really important. For somebody that was starting out in the business, so we say our past students of us have finished training with us and they wanted to get into the business, what would be your advice to them? Or what advice would you wish somebody had told you many years ago?
uh So obviously, knowledge is probably is number one. You need to get knowledge from the start. like get the trainings. Even I remember, like, before I even like came to Eagles, I was doing few weddings, but a lot of things I didn't know about the flowers, how to condition them, how to put, he was buying kind of market flowers and all this, but yeah, I think it's a knowledge is number one. It's definitely good to get definitely courses that it's give you knowledge how to do it, and I think your mechanics is the biggest thing, if you know how to do it, how to easier. Obviously, with the practices comes everything, you know.
Yes.
But the other thing, maybe really, really concentrate what exactly you want to achieve and where you want to be. Even myself, I want, like, when I was buying shit, I wanted, but like at the end when you're running, like, you have to realize you have only one life, and sometimes, you have to think that you need a little bit to enjoy rather than just work, 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 work. So kind of for me, I, after doing so much work, and I just realized that I need to look what it makes me more pleasure out of it rather than
And can
just
financially support you and do that. And like
obviously.
you are like, you're such an inspiration in that you have given it a go in all aspects of it. You've tried and you have found your niche. You have
Yeah,
found, and I know you have something huge coming on this year. We can't talk about it yet,
yeah,
but
no,
watch this space, because you're going to see so much more of Sandra and Liacabella throughout the summer of 2024. What's your favorite part of flowers? Like, from like looking at, from going to the markets, consultation, ordering, to the installation itself. What's your favorite part of it?
I think when to see the final result.
Yeah.
I think, it's a lot of work, involved by just planning and buying and stuffing, and then you're trying load it and you're driving and unloading, and so it's very long process. And sometimes it's, as well, we have to take in that, you can be very, very planned, but not everything goes according to your plan. You could be delayed on the flower, or some flowers open up too fast. you know or are you going to an event and you're supposed to put everything, away, and they're still not even ready, so you have to, because we started actually last year to do service on the day where we decorated the churches, and we take everything down and we bring it to the venue.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's something new that we came, and it's a lot of brides so happy because it's completely free stress for everyone. So nobody need to look, oh, who gonna take these florals, who gonna bring it, and all this. We're giving full service, and I found, a lot of happy said that is the best thing that it's, they decided. But yeah, so it's a lot of process. But when you're doing everything and you actually, when you see the last look, how it looks, then you're kind of happy. You know what? Yes, it was worth it running.
It was worth it. It was worth it. And
Yeah.
tell me, what does the future hold for Liacabella?
For future, so yes, I definitely now, because I sold my flower shop, so I really want to concentrate in the wedding industry, and do more that luxury weddings, and try, to do more happy brides. And definitely I gonna be concentrating on the Christmas. Christmas is really huge, and yeah, I have few projects I can't tell until I gonna do it, so
On the way, on the
unfortunately,
way. But it
yeah,
is, and and I know we spoke off camera about how opening the shop has an effect on your event and your installation part of your business. So you're back now 100% able to give it 100%. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen, because I can see big things happening for you. And
yeah,
as I said, I've been watching your social media, and the stuff you're putting out there is just phenomenal. The shop installations, I'm sort of saying I'd actually love you to come here and do something here for us. And the other thing I know you do also is communions and confirmation
yeah,
parties. You do
yeah.
decorations for those as well,
Yeah,
don't you?
you see, yes, because I do decor. Like a lot of times, people does at home in the marquee. So we come and we decorate marquees. You see, I hire three. I have hired three marquees as well, with the table, chairs, all covers, basic, all the decor.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so we do actually, so basic. I'm trying kind of to be one-stop shop. So when you come to us, like let's say book communion or anything, we provide absolutely everything. Marquee, tables,
Amazing.
chairs, covers, glassware, cutlery. So we do as well, like, marquee weddings as well.
Oh,
And
I never realized that. Okay.
yeah, we do a lot of second day weddings as well. So I have absolutely everything
Wow, that's
from the
you
decor.
certainly have. You certainly have. Sandra, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I have a few quick fire questions for you. So off
Okay,
the top of your head, first answer first. What's your favorite flower?
hydrangea.
Hydrangeas. What's your favorite food?
Uh, Cepelina. It's Lithuanian dishes.
Okay, so what's your favorite Irish food?
Probably stew. Yeah,
Really? Oh wow, that's an interesting one.
yeah.
Summer or winter?
Definitely summer.
Definitely summer. Working in your business or working on your business?
In the business.
Yeah, yeah. And so like on that note, like we say going forward, would you like to be able to hire in maybe an admin or a marketeer or somebody who can work on the business and take all that away from you?
Yeah, I think, this year I just gonna do the jobs I have, but I have to do a little bit bigger structure on the business. And I probably, this is the hard when you being busy, you constantly go, go, go and never get chance. But yeah, my biggest plan is just to put a better structure on the business and get few people and start, growing in the event styling, during the weddings, communions, christenings, and all occasions. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see, I can see it happening. Guys, if you're watching this or you're listening to this, do pop over to Sandra over on Licky Bella. As I said, the her links are all in the description, and you can go over and follow and see what she does. And what she actually told me before we came on camera, which I was giving out to her for, she doesn't post half the images that she takes and all the jobs that she does. So she's going to be onto that now after this, aren't you, Sandra?
Yeah, I'll try, so, but you never just get chance because, people who works in that industry, they realize that usually you so much and you want to give, like I would be very into detail. So I'm not
Yes.
just come and throw things. So for me, it's detail. I always saying when you're doing something, like you always think that all the flour is gonna be in it. And it's only florists who can tell your mistakes.
That's it. And that's so true. And that is
Yeah.
so true. And we say that all the time to the students, your biggest critique will be another florist.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as a florist, you become the biggest critique of other florists, saying, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way.
Yeah, but
At
yeah,
the
so
end of the
always
day,
kind of trying to make it. I know everyone have their own different styles, and that is
yes,
beautiful, And you kind of, when you look at the weddings, you nearly can tell who did the wedding.
that's it. It is though, and that's why
Yeah.
I suppose it's why people go to a different hairdresser, because they like how they cut their hair and they like the style. Most hairdressers can cut hairs. Most hairdressers can color hairs. Most florists can do wedding bouquets, but they will all do them slightly different and have their style. As regards to our mechanics, we always say to our students, it's the fastest and the most profitable way is the best way.
Yeah. And as Jeanette always says, fill in, fill in, fill in, fill in.
Fill in, fill in, fill in. Absolutely. Watch out for them cop-on spots.
Yeah. Yeah,
Listen, Sandra, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks,
I've really, really enjoyed our chat. And we will be watching, particularly in the summer of 2024. If you're watching this at a later date, watch out for Sandra in Licky Bella and watch what she is up to.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. All the best.
You're welcome. Thank you.